Hi, I'm Maureen Tara Nelson of MTN Matchmaking for our Friday Facebook Live with Dr. Dave. Everybody's favorite, Dr. Dave.
Happy to be here.
Boy, I get so many compliments. How's Dr. Dave? Oh, how come you weren't on Facebook Live last week? It
We're
was,
shaving my head.
yes. Doesn't Dave look handsome with his shaved head? Because this girl loves a shaved head.
My favorite.
So, okay, we have a lot of questions. So we'll try to go quickly because there's a million things I have to do for my accountant today. And I think they're due before 5 o'clock. And plus, there's a lot of other things. But anyway, so we'll start off first with the questions, and we can take turns answering them. Okay. Dave is going to
You're going to read them, or I'm going to read them. Why is chemistry insane, but they won't commit?
Okay. Which number question was that? Just so I know. Oh, number one?
One.
Okay. So, chemistry is, oh, yes. Okay. So, remember, we need compatibility, chemistry. So, when chemistry is off the charts, yes, it's the greatest feeling in the world. But it typically, as everybody knows, you don't end up marrying that person because, or if you do, it's a divorce, because you also need compatibility. So the reason it happens a lot is because opposites attract, but that's the worst thing for us. When I hear someone, or especially a matchmaker, say, oh, I'm going to match you up because opposites attract. Horrible advice. You have to be compatible. So that's why that happens. What would you like to add, Dave?
I think you covered it. It's always interesting, these little soliloquies that you have throughout your life, like this is the partner you're going to fool around with, and this is the partner you're going to marry, and they have generally opposite traits. So just kind of interesting. So question number 2.
Wait. Excuse me?
Okay.
So are you saying that opposites attract? And that's a good thing? Is that what you're saying you believe in?
Yeah, what I would say to you is I don't believe in opposites and other things. I believe that there are certain traits that people have that draw them to other people. I mean, you know this from being a matchmaker. I mean, how many times have people come to you and said, well, I've gone out with this girl or this girl and this girl and nothing is working. And then you come along and know what to look for with these people. And then, basically put them in the right direction.
Yes. So, which is compatibility. Yes.
Compatibility, right. And people think it's compatibility, but it's really hormones.
Not the phrases
themselves.
Yes, I know. One of the phrases that I had coined many, many years ago is I didn't coin that phrase, is that compatibility breeds chemistry, but never the other way around. No matter how much chemistry you have, that is not going to lead into compatibility. So, okay.
Yeah, I think that's a brilliant statement. I think a lot of people get drawn to other people by the chemistry, but the compatibility is not there.
Yes.
All right. Question 2.
Next. Yep.
My queen.
I love that.
Why do they text me all the time but never make plans?
Okay. Off the top of my head, you're a second fucking choice.
I like what you said here, because you're entertainment, not a priority.
Yes. Come on. Oh my gosh.
What?
Like I don't understand why people don't get that, because if you're number one, the number one girl gets the dates. She gets the texts and the dates. The number two girl gets the texts, typically at 10 o'clock at night for sexting. And if you don't know that yet, that's sad. You have to know it. And it's hard. You're not going to be everyone's cup of tea, but send that guy packing and find a guy who is going to want to text you and take you out. What would you like to say?
I like what you said, because your entertainment, not a priority. If they wanted to see you, you'd already be getting ready.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that a lot.
And I think you're the one that even said those things. Those are your words.
Dr. Doherty says a lot of things.
Okay.
Okay.
Number 3?
Yep. Me? Okay.
Yep. You're in charge.
Why do people disappear and then come back like nothing happened?
Because they got dumped. Isn't that obvious? If someone is present with you and you're number one, it will continue. If it stops, then they have someone else.
Yeah.
They don't just stop for no reason. And then typically what happens is that, we're going to use a guy as an example. That girl then sees the real him and she doesn't want him anymore. So she kicks him to the curb. And what does he do? Does he want to start over? No. He goes back to the first girl. So value yourself more than that and realize you deserve more than that. You don't deserve a guy like that. So get rid of him.
Yeah. I mean, is this 3 or 4?
This is, can't see without my glasses.
Yeah,
This
3. Why
is
do
3.
people disappear
Yes.
and then come back?
Yes. You said something great. You said because they think you'll allow it.
Yeah.
Remember, I wrote down
you
had said, yeah.
Yeah, that was one of the big things. Yeah.
Yeah.
And again,
don't allow it.
If they let him or her, they will. I think that they have to have stronger boundaries.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. Number 4.
Oh, I should have put this on public. Okay. So as you're writing that, let's see if it's showing up. Okay. Let me edit post and make it public. Right. Oh man, it won't let me. This StreamYard is the worst. Making me keep it on Friends for now. Sorry about that.
I'm not saying a word because I was absolutely crippled. 4.
Okay.
Am I overthinking, or are they acting differently?
Well,
I think. Go ahead. You go. You're the expert.
Oh, well, I always was taught by my mentor, if you're thinking it, say it. So if you feel that way and you're in a relationship, you need to bring that up. And if the person dismisses it, then you have to go by your intuition. And if you feel it with your intuition, it's always right. If you ever notice, you always end up catching someone who's doing something wrong. So if it is a right relationship, none of that stuff happens. You can basically and literally work out almost anything.
I quite agree. I mean, I think that if you stand, I would say this to people: if you stand and you speak all these words into the mirror while you're looking at it, you're going to find out that you don't want to be with this person. I mean, anytime, you don't have to overthink it. Anytime you're kind of picking up on these shifts, and the real question is, were you ignoring it? And now suddenly it's front and center. You know,
Mhm.
I think that you should pay attention to your heart, your intuition, because it's
Yeah.
usually right.
Yeah. Okay. Great.
Okay. Question 5. Why do I keep attracting the wrong person? I'm going to let you handle that one.
Okay. So things are very different if you come to an upscale matchmaking service like what I have, that everyone, I have 3,000 clients on Long Island, many of which are on hold though together. So I don't have to match them. But
Mhm.
if you're not in this program and you need to find someone on your own, you have to just hope that wherever your circle takes you, you'll find other single men or women. And it's much harder that way. So um, you're just limited to what's out there. And that's a problem. And there's really nothing that you can do about it. But also, I would say if you're meeting the wrong people, you're settling. You're afraid that, someone's not right. Let me just back off and keep looking to find the right person. So many people will say, no, what if no one ever comes along? Never do that. Value yourself more than that.
I think you said it all. I mean, um, I think you have to look in the mirror and you have to say to yourself, I'm worth love. I'm worth a good relationship, and I'm not going to settle for somebody who is beneath me.
Good. Now, before you change pages to question number 6, we got Kim on here saying, hi, Sunshine and Dr. Dave. Hi, Kim.
Hi, Kim.
We love Kim. Hey, single guys on Long Island, I think Nassau County, if you want the sexiest African American lady who is super cool, just a spitfire, who is the most positive person ever, call me, because she is simply the best. She is sunshine. She is, not me. She is. So I want to
Thank you
hear
for the
from a lot
hearts,
of guys.
Kim.
Yes. She's your biggest fan, Dave. Kim, don't you love his shaved head? I love that.
Oh, my goodness. So we're on question 6, sweetie?
Yep, number 6,
Okay.
second page.
My phone is giving me a hard time here. Okay, that's better. Okay, good.
Go, doctor, Kim is
So,
saying.
yeah, right. No, listen, understand, with technology, and I can cure cancer easier than I can change a tire.
Kim, you have no idea what I had to go through before this Friday Facebook Live with Dave's new laptop. That's all I'm going to say. Right, Dave?
I confess, technology befuddles me. Okay. Should I give them another chance, is what we were just talking about, right?
Never give a guy a second chance, ladies. What's wrong with you? I
So
see this.
as they would say, no, 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 no. How about don't give a person a second chance?
Okay, yes. I shouldn't be so
I mean,
loud.
yes, I've seen some guys
yes.
who are not fair to women, but I've
Yes,
seen
yes.
my fair share of women who are not nice to guys either. So
Okay.
we'll just leave it there.
Okay. Well,
before
my
I get in any more
rule
trouble.
in dating that I started 20 years ago is never go backwards. The reasons why you broke up in the first place will always resurface unless that person really wants to change so much that they're going to go to counseling. They're going to do everything possible to change for you. And realistic, come on, how realistic is that? How
I think-
many people have done that? Go ahead.
Sorry. I think the only if you should never go back with him or her, depending on who they are.
Yeah.
They can come back to you, and then you should create boundaries if you're interested still in them as to how you might want to get back together. You certainly don't want to, do something silly right off the bat because, oh, he or she came back to you and now it's all lovey-dovey and you're feeling good again. I think that people need to prove that they're in fact monogamous in the relationship and caring about each other.
And
just
I
an
would bet
uneducated
money
man's opinion.
that person will not be able to prove it.
No,
You're going to hear it. You're going to hear the person, I've changed. Let me prove it to you. Oh, I even heard it from people myself. Oh my gosh. Let me prove it. No.
So you don't think people can change or prove it?
Like I said, it would take therapy and a real desire to know what they were doing in the relationship was wrong.
Okay.
And a lot of people are not able to do that because the easier fix is for that person just to go to someone else who's lesser, who's not as selective, who'll put up with their shit.
Mhm.
Don't do that. Raise the bar. So. We should have some background music on this.
Do, 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 do,
Hey, Alexa.
do.
Play my favorite love songs on low. This might be a disaster.
Your songs from Pandora.
No, Alexa, lower.
We're getting
Lower.
your love songs on a down low.
Alexa, lower.
Goodness.
I've never even heard that song. Alexa, lower. It's not one of my favorites. Alexa, lower.
Someone who-
Alexa, lower. Alexa, what are my favorite love songs? God, Alexa is the worst.
I can't say things here like what I've said to Alexa. So
Oh, I fight with Alexa all the time.
all right, so we're on 8.
It just switched. Did you notice? Okay, Alexa off. You're fired. Go ahead. Sorry about that. What's the next one?
I think it's 8. How do I make them take me seriously?
Oh, okay. And I think we can do 7 after, but how do I make them take me serious? You can't. There's nothing that we can do that's going to make someone love us, no matter what, because it might not be the right person for us. We have to be, again, I've said it a million times, compatible and have chemistry. So if you don't have that with someone, there's nothing that you can do. And this is why people get so down on themselves. Say, even in my program, if they go out on a date and that person doesn't want, say, a second date or a third date, which is what we recommend, don't get down on yourself about that. It just means that person isn't the right one for you. Or if you say yes to someone and they say no to you, don't get down. You would have wasted time with the wrong person. The person who is going to love you is going to see your profile, your photos, and think, oh my God, he or she is amazing. So that's what you should be shooting for. And, just don't settle. Too many people settle because they don't want to be alone. Yeah, we weren't made to be alone. We were, made to, being in love is the greatest feeling in the world. But
Yes.
trying to be in love with someone who doesn't love you back is the worst feeling in the world. So don't waste your time on that. Your take, Dave?
No, I think you covered it. The people need to be. People need to expect to be, respected and loved. You should never settle. Never settle. You're worth it. There's no question. You're worth it. You feel like you're worth it. And sometimes people settle. And that's the worst thing that happens. Marriages fall apart. It's a whole bunch of things. Don't settle.
And that is great advice. And again, just like I've said, again, when you're compatible and you have chemistry, it does work out. The person will take you seriously.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have someone doing the compatibility for you, like I do, then the easy part is just to go out a few times and see if you have chemistry with someone. Otherwise, if you do it the opposite way, which most people do, then you're going by chemistry and you have to hope you're compatible. Typically, it takes the average person 6 months on their own to see if they're compatible, because on the first date, we, without realizing it, tell the person exactly what we're looking for. So if someone's going by chemistry, they're going to love every single thing that you say you want to do.
Yeah.
And then when it comes time to doing it, you're going to say, what? So just shoot for both. Shoot for the stars. You land on the moon. Okay, 7 though.
All right. So that was helpful. Why do I feel addicted to someone who's inconsistent?
I do think there's a certain excitement of trying to chase someone because it's new. It's hard. Because another problem could be if you do go too fast in a relationship, it could be the right relationship. You could be compatible. You could have chemistry. But if you go too fast, that's not going to work either. So you have to really try to maintain a slow and steady, which I say slow and steady wins the race.
Mm-hmm.
But when you go fast like that, that's chemistry and that's exciting. You have to figure out why you're doing that, why you're seeking that. Probably, I don't know this for sure, but maybe their parents were divorced and their mom was always going from, guy to guy. And the mom was always so excited about that, but yet never successful. It's just not healthy. So.
Yeah. I mean, I think inconsistency is death to a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I think, and I think a lot of times on both sides, guys and gals, they like certain things about the person, but the inconsistency is always there, sort of in behind the scenes. And, okay, I can fix this. Yeah, this is not exactly how I wanted it to be, but nevertheless, I can put up with it because I really like him or her about it. It's a remedy for disaster.
Yeah, it's settling. That's what settling is.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely correct.
Okay, 9.
That's a big surprise. So, what's the biggest mistake singles make that I'm sorry, what's the biggest mistake singles are making right now?
Oh, there's an obvious one.
Not having a matchmaker.
Well, obviously, but
No, but
And
it's correct because you see what it is, not what they're seeing.
right.
They
Yes.
love this beautiful part and that beautiful part, and they ignore everything else. You're seeing it all, so you can stand back and go, "Wow, this is going to be a great match," or "Wow, this is going to be a walking disaster."
Or you're making mistakes. And
Mhm.
that's the hardest part about matchmaking because the biggest mistake singles make when they're going for love the second time, and I would say 80% of singles make this mistake in the beginning, then hopefully they allow me to bring it to their attention and they don't get mad and they realize it, they fix it, and then they can be successful. If they fight it, it's not going to work. And then that's sad. But the biggest mistake is when someone, for whatever reason, is divorced or widowed and they were married for maybe 20 years or something. So they'll think now, okay, well, when I was last single, I was 110 pounds, so I would never make that assumption. No one should. You're a different person now 20 years later or 25 years later, and you have to embrace that and love yourself for who you are now, because now you're only going to attract the people that are like you now. You're not going to attract the people that you did 20 years ago. And 80% of singles second time around make that mistake. If they let me bring that up to them, because I'll hear, oh, did you see my husband? Did you see how gorgeous my husband is? This guy you're showing me, he looks old. Well, guess what? If I put my photo, your photo, and his photo together, you look great together. But in their mind, they're thinking how they did 20 years ago to this new person. And of course, that's not going to match up, but it's not realistic. And that's a hard thing to teach someone the second time around. When people do realize it and they're open for change, because the most important thing, especially with a matchmaking service, is if you're going by chemistry only and you're going by what you think you used to get, it will never work.
Sure.
You have to be realistic to who you are now, who you're compatible now, and looks wise, that girl has to be attracted to you, or that guy has to be attracted to you now. So you can't just be one-sided. What you want has to be equal. And that's what singles make the biggest mistake on.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I mean,
It's sad too, because
and if they took away what they think they want and listen to what they know they need, it's completely different.
Yeah.
Everyone wants the beautiful blonde, yada yada yada. The beautiful blonde wants the football captain and the whole 9 yards. I mean,
only in the 20s, Dave.
but the 20s turn
And
into
then
the
we
30s
divorce
and the 40s. Yes. And it's interesting. I mean, we used to always laugh about it. We were the smart kids. And so anyway, and it was kind of funny. Somebody once told me, he said, the cheerleaders are going out with the football players, but they're going to end up with the doctors. So we thought it was kind of funny, but neither here nor there. I think it's, I mean, every mixture, every relationship, all of those stuff is different than every other relationship. How they move together, how they, interact together, how they love each other, and the whole 9 yards. How do they get through stress? I mean, there's a lot to be thought of in a relationship, and pieces don't always put together. And it doesn't necessarily mean the football
Nothing's
captain and
perfect.
the
Right.
cheerleaders. Yeah.
And speaking of doctors, I burnt the top of my head. Can you see?
I'm scrubbing up.
How
No,
soon can you be here?
As I tell people, I'm retired.
Kim, don't you think Dr. Dave needs another visit to Long Island?
Actually, I
Okay.
do need another. I need to go home for a little bit.
You mean Long Island?
That's home.
Yeah, good. Okay, good. Okay. What do we have? One more?
Sure. Oh, I'm falling down on the job. Okay. Question number 10. How do I know if they're the one? I think we kind of covered.
I like this. What?
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay, so I always say when I'm doing dating coaching with my clients, they'll go on hold together. We recommend you try to go out 3 times because everyone's nervous on the first date, whether they admit it or not. No one's nervous on the 3rd date. So then at that point, you already know you're compatible. So you have to try to decide, do I have enough chemistry to go on hold with one another? But I always like to sneak in, we all get sad or mad at certain things in our lives. But
I'm just laughing by what you said. Go ahead.
why?
Keep going.
Because the right person for you is going to make you happy
Yes.
during those times. And that's the greatest feeling in the world, I think. But also, too, I think when someone can make you feel safe, most women, they might not say it to you guys, but to make a girl feel safe, you have her. Okay? And a lot of guys probably don't even know it or care enough to try to do that. So, and then I would say lastly, when a man takes the time to woo the girl and be romantic, all those things together show it. Actions speak louder than words.
Yes.
What do you
I
think?
so. Yeah, no, I think that if you're interested in someone or you love someone, then you put in the effort to let them know that they're special.
Mhm.
And it builds that that bond together. I mean, it can be something as inconsequential as bringing them coffee,
In bed.
yeah, in bed, rubbing their feet, The rest of the show is G-rated, so I'll leave it there.
Or vacuuming their place.
Vacuuming the place. Who did that?
I know I didn't.
Anyway,
Oh, okay.
no,
So,
it's
But what
important.
made you laugh before what I said? Do you remember? When I answered that question, you just started laughing. When I said they make you happy when you're sad or stressed out.
Yeah, they can make you happy. But, it's nicer to ride when you're unhappy and sad and upset with someone that cares about you rather than doing it alone.
Oh,
So, spending time together happy is certainly good. And certainly the hormones and the
yes.
endorphins that come from happiness is a lot different. But
But that's easy almost. I think
yeah,
it's like you said.
you're right.
Yeah.
That is easy.
Yeah.
But I think it's so much, it shows so much more about who you are. Not when it's good times, but when it's bad times, or when there are things going on that are stressing out the relationship. That's the time where you find out, where the rubber hits the road, so to speak.
Mm. Well, I can't beat that one. So we better end on a good note like that.
I don't believe that for a second.
No, that was great.
Yeah.
And I have 1,000 things to do for work, and you're retired, so go take a nap. I'm kidding. He doesn't take naps. I'm joking.
I don't
Take
nap.
naps.
I was in the gym for 3 hours this morning.
I take naps, but I don't even have time to nap today. I have so much to do. But thanks for tuning in to our Friday Facebook Live. You can watch this on all these social media channels later on, and send in your questions. We'll answer them next week. So have a great weekend, everyone. And thanks, Dr. Dave, for joining
Thank
me
you.
again.
Thanks, Kim.
Oh, yes.
I'm reading all
You're calling me Kim?
No. I'm boosting your ratings here.
Okay. Have a great weekend, everybody.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye. Oh,